To use SeaSearch, I recommend starting from the library homepage and immediately clicking Advanced Search. This will give you a lot more options for how to search, how many search bars you have, and how to limit or expand your search. For example, we might be looking for narwhals, beluga whales, and the Arctic, where they live. I'll go ahead and click Search to see what we find. You'll see that we have over 1,000 articles that include all of these search terms somewhere in the article or the record of the article, and you can see those right here below. Some of them are ebooks, some of them are academic journals. We may even have some newspaper articles or magazines in here as well. The first thing that you'll want to do when taking a look at an article or an ebook is to click the title of the one that seems like it might be interesting. This will bring you to the record of the article or ebook, and you can take a look at the abstract or description in order to see if it's something that's really interesting to you. There's a lot more information here as well that might be helpful, like who the authors are, when they published it, what journal it was published in, that's under Source. And over here on the left, you'll then be able to click View Record from the database ScienceDirect. This will bring us into the database that actually has access to this article. You can see some of the same information here on their record page of the article. And then you can click Download PDF and select that you'd like the article. This brings you the full text of the article that you searched for. You'll be able to save it, print it, or take a look at other PDFs within this issue of this journal. If we go back to the record, we can head back to all of our results. And again, you'll be able to look through all the different titles that came up for this search, see other ones that are interesting to you, and they may even come from some different databases, and some of them you can even click directly to the full text. So in this case, when I go into the record of the article, instead of having to go into a separate database in order to view the full text, I can just click PDF Full Text, and it will display right here in the middle of your search. For each one of these articles, there are some tools over on the right-hand side that will be useful. If you have a Google Drive account, you can save it directly to that drive. You can add it to your folder here in the search. If you do that, you may want to create a sign-in so that you'll be able to return to that folder later. Otherwise, it will only keep the article as long as you're currently doing this search. You can print the information, email it, again, save it, and one really helpful item is that you can cite it. You can scroll down to the citation format that you're going to be using and copy and paste it into a Word document or other word processing application that you're using to keep track of your resources. Another important note is that you can click Permalink, and this will display the URL that you can use to return to this article later. The URL that's up in the typical URL bar is search specific, and it will no longer work after you've completed your search. So you'll want to make sure that you save that permalink instead. Headed back into our results, we might also think that over 1,000 results is a little too much for us to search for if we have some other limitations to what we need. In this case, I might only want peer-reviewed articles. Now we're down to about 800, so there's 500 that we got rid of that way. I might also only want articles from the past 8 years. I can limit the publication date. Now we're down to about 400 articles, which is a lot more manageable. Similarly, you can select the subject that you're really interested in. If you know the journal that you're trying to find articles from, you can select it there. If you're finding a lot of articles in languages that you don't know, you can select English or another language that you're searching for. And if you know that a specific database has a lot of articles on this topic, you can select it here. There are a number of times for articles that are through ScienceDirect that you may need to actually request the article specifically. In those cases, instead of seeing download PDF, you'll see order document, and it'll give you an opportunity to put in your name and email address, and that will send an email to me, and I can then access the article and I'll send it to you as a PDF. Feel free to do that if this is an article that looks like it would be useful for you. In addition to peer-reviewed journals, you could also be looking for newspaper articles, magazine articles, ebooks, any number of things. Here's an ebook that we might find interesting. Again, you can read through the description, you can cite it, you can save it to your Google Drive or to a folder here in the search. And you can also take a look at the full text, or you can download it. In order to download ebooks, you will need to have an account in this search, so you'll need to click sign in and go through that process. It may also require you to download some specific software for it, but it is free, so you can certainly do so. Otherwise, you can access the full text of the ebook here, and you'll be able to go through the table of contents here on the left and read through the full text here in the middle. Some books will allow you to print some pages or save some pages. Many of them require that you only do so for a small number of pages, and some allow you to do so for the entire text. It will depend on the specific title. That's a basic introduction to our search through SeaSearch. You can always go back into Advanced Search and select your limiters and expanders here and search again. And you can also adjust it directly in the search results page. Contact the library if you have any questions or issues accessing articles through SeaSearch.